Hello everyone, this is a video tutorial on a 10-minute practice routine that you can do using the SimVivo laparoscopic kit, which comes for about $400 on the SimVivo website. Basically, this consists of 5 consecutive bites on your suture pad, 3 using your right hand, and 2 more using your left hand. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be taking bites and then you're going to be tying 4 knots each time. As you can see here, I've taken my first bite and now I'm going to tie my first knot. I'm using my right instrument as a fulcrum. And I'm tying my surgeon's knot, which is a double knot to start. I switch hands so that it comes down as a square. Do a knot in the opposite direction and I form a fireman's pole knot, which as shown in the screen is a little kind of fireman's pole configuration where the slip knot is basically formed and you can cinch it down using your non-dominant instrument so that your wound edges approximate very well. And now I'm gonna cut my first suture and I'm gonna go on to my second one. I'm gonna reposition the needle on my right instrument. You can be creative when it comes to reposition your needle. You can use your string as a fulcrum to rotate your needle on your left instrument, how we call it, like a dancing needle. Or you can grab the needle using your right instrument and use your left instrument to reposition the needle on your right instrument. What's very important to note is that your right instrument doesn't have to be always either open or closed. You can hold the little lever, the little button on the side of your right instrument down all the time. And this way your right instrument becomes much softer to handle now. And you can basically open and close it as you like. Again, I form a slip knot right here, a little fireman's pole knot. And I'm throwing my consecutive knots in opposite directions if possible. Always make sure you have enough string to work with. There's nothing wrong with pulling a little extra string in this free range exercise routine so that you can tie more comfortably. This basically consists of a 12-minute practice regimen that you can do up to 3 times every week. Obviously, at first it's going to take a little bit more time, but as you progress and you become more comfortable, you're going to be practicing many different aspects of laparoscopy, namely needle handling, repositioning your needle, taking bites, needle point awareness, loop awareness, being able to tie, and being able to switch hands even with the needle. That is using your left hand and your right hand to take bites. This is going to be the final suture that I take with my right hand. And again, I'm going to form a surgeon's knot. I always make sure there is a C-loop configuration aimed towards my tying instrument. I tighten my knot, and the next knot is going to be in the opposite direction. And I form a little fireman's pole. And I'm going to cinch it down using my other instrument. You can also practice taking backhand sutures, which are not shown here. However, you can deal with most bites by taking forehand bites, either with your left or your right hand. Again, I'm going to switch instruments to my left hand. I'm going to reposition my needle on my left hand. See, I use my string as a fulcrum. I grab the needle and I reposition it with my right instrument on the left instrument to make sure I have the angle that I want. Similarly to how I did it with my right instrument, I'm going to take a bite with my left instrument and then I'm going to tie using my left hand this time. I'm going to switch hands. And that's about it. Again, I form a slip knot or a fireman's pole knot. As you can see, the little knot configuration right here, and I cinch it down right after. That's my fourth knot. And now I move on to my final suture. Besides the FLS tutorials, I thought it was useful to have a combined exercise that shows your practice regimen on a daily basis. I find that the FLS exercises are excellent, but some of them can be a little monodimensional in terms of not practicing many skills at once, and they're not always as reproducible in terms of you requiring you to have certain materials for certain exercises that are not always available. Plus, they're not the same every time as this exercise right here. So you practice many different skills all at once. One particular skill that you do not practice with this practice regimen is going to be, of course, extracorporeal knot tying, which is very useful and is a core FLS exercise principle. I'm going to upload another video showing you a little trick on how you can use your instruments as knot pushers. As knot pushers, from my understanding, are a little bit difficult to acquire and they can be quite expensive on Amazon. Here I cinch my knot and I tie my final 2 knots, and that's the end of the exercise. Again, practice as much as you want, as much as you can, and as much as you like. And again, this is a basic lap exercise series. I'm not an expert in laparoscopy, but those are some general skills that every general surgery resident I think is useful to have. Thank you.